Hey everyone, this is Nicole Nogrady reporting to you for Costa Mesa Brief, and I am in beautiful Bakersfield, California at the California Republican Assembly. Let's go inside and check it out. Question. What do you think about Larry Elder announcing his bid for presidency just the other day?
Yeah, well, I saw that, and I guess like most Californians, I might have expected it, of course, considering he ran for governor. And I feel like Larry Elder, he has his place within the Republican Party. I don't know if he'll be able to improve on what Trump was able to do and the energy right there. I mean, he's a very charismatic man. He has this great backstory. But I don't know. It's up in the air. I like Larry. I love Trump because he actually was the man in the ring doing the stuff. He's still the man in the ring, right? I think Larry's got a lot of work to do if he's going to want to compete with somebody like Trump.
So maybe like in a few years, maybe we can have like a DeSantis and Larry.
Yeah, that sounds very, very appetizing to me. Actually, I would
like
actually,
in 2028.
Yeah, I would actually like to see something mixed like that. Political candidates. I like that, right? Because then you have somebody who also did the work on Ron DeSantis, and then you have Larry Elder, who is very successful, and that basically, defeats the whole Democrat narrative of racism, and all that stuff.
As we all know, the news cycle has been pretty crazy lately. What is your main pressing concern?
The state of the economy.
Like, for example, like the dollar, what's happening with the petrodollar?
All of it is, I know that it's international what's happening right now, but moreover, it has affected everyone here that is in this place today. The cost of living, housing, food, gasoline, you name it, everything. You cannot find anything that you can say 4 years ago or 3 years ago was better than 100% much better than what is currently under the Biden administration.
Do you almost feel like it seems kind of intentional, possibly, what's going on? Because things are so incredibly bad. Like, how could they be this bad? Do you feel concerned that maybe Biden is working with people behind the scenes, like, for example, like the Chinese Communist Party?
Well, we know that Biden and his administration are part of a globalist movement, okay, that want to take control of our homes, want to control of our personal lives.
What brings you to the California Republican Assembly today?
Well, I am representing Moms for America. We are trying to bring patriotism back to our children and our families, and we are also offering support to mom groups who want to be more successful in lobbying to their school boards, to their legislature, and give them resources to be more successful, because the oxygen gets taken out of the room by people who are like rabble-rousers, and I understand people's passion, but we need to be able to enact positive cognitive change, and we have to be able to sit at a table and be able to speak to those in power who can help us so that we can reach mutual goals.
So you're kind of like a middle organization between those in power and then the moms, the grassroots and the moms at schools. Now, what is your main concern with the schools right now?
Well, parental rights. We need there to be transparency in curriculum and also in parents' rights. Parents need to be involved, and they need to be knowledgeable, and they need to be notified about what is happening in the schools. And so we definitely want parents not to feel intimidated and to be able to go to their school boards with their concerns in a respectful way to be heard.
What do you think the number one thing is that needs to be changed in California schools?
Well, I think the transparency in curriculum, I think parents need to know and understand what children are being taught and to stay focused on the academics and not so much on the ideological type of issues, because morals and values are taught at home. I'm the mother of 5 children, and I feel that I should know what my children are learning, and I want the focus to be on the academics. We've had 2 years of learning loss, and right now, to get back to where the grade levels should be, we need to focus on the mathematics, the science, the English and language arts, and that way our children will be prepared and successful for the future.
Well, you know, the California Republican Assembly is near and dear to my heart. I ran for Attorney General state of California last election cycle, and I got their unanimous endorsement. So, you know, I'm proud to be here, and I'm proud to speak. I'll be speaking in a little while to all the great people who are here from around the state.
Excellent. Right now, there is a lot happening in the news. As we know, it's hard to keep up. What is something that is just really, really bothering you above everything else that's bothering you? Is there one thing?
Me, but I guess if you want to boil this all down, we have a band of far left. Call them woke. You could call them American Marxists. I call them everything, all of them. You could call them socialists. And they've made their way through the long march through the institutions, is the way people describe it. And they're in control of the major institutions of power, both in and outside of our government. In reality, they're a relatively small number of people. The vast majority of Americans, and you know, I'm running for U.S. Senate against Schiff and Katie Porter and Barbara Lee, and the vast majority of Americans, of course Republicans, which we are, but Democrats, independents, know that things have gone way too far in this country. And so I'm running for the forgotten Americans, and I can talk about all the subjects and all the issues. I'm aware of what's going on. A lot of things bother me.
What is the first thing that you would do?
Well, you know, in the U.S. Senate, there's things you can do and you can't do. I'm a huge supporter of our parents and our children. And as I'm sure you know, there's a huge effort going on, led by this Ken doll that runs this state, California being the tip of the iceberg for the far-left movement in this country, frankly, to separate our children out from their parents, okay? They want to take our children. They want to do terrible things to our children's brains, starting in kindergarten, innocent, beautiful, young children, and they don't want parents knowing about it, and then they want to send them home.
What is one thing that stands out to you that really concerns you that you want to stay focused on?
I think that there is a lot of things that are happening right now, but definitely the thing that's coming with parents and children, parental rights, and then when it comes to indoctrinating children in the school system right now, that's probably one of the biggest issues.
The number one issue that's holding everything back is corruption. But the issue that really rings true to me as someone who has an agriculture background is water. It's the single most important thing because water is the lifeblood. I mean, it's of the state. It's what we need for our agriculture. It's what we need to make everything go. And obviously, it's an essential building block of life. And right now, the state is not doing anything in an effective manner to harvest the water that we get. I mean, we just got the most rainfall in years, 200% snowpack. Are we gonna collect it properly? No. Are the environmentalists and the lunatics gonna dump it out to save the Sacramento smelt? You can bet your bottom dollar on that one. But you know what's gonna happen come late summer or fire season around September, December? We're gonna be right back in extreme drought conditions. The wildfires are gonna be raging. Why? Because we don't have the water storage.
Do you almost feel like it's a little bit? It seems a little almost intentional that they run things this way.
Is that a serious question? Of course it's intentional.
I started running in politics for education in 2008. Since then, I won 5 elections for school board and the latest ones for the college board for Chabolas Positas. So there, something interesting happened. I posted on LinkedIn, my account, that is my private account, an apple meme that had a caption, "This is a banana. If you see an apple, you're a right-wing extremist." So that led them to censure me, and eventually I got basically fired from my other job.
For a meme. Now, what did the meme mean? What was the controversial issue with the meme?
The rationale behind why I posted it, I got tired of all the news organizations out there telling us that what we see out there is not what it is. For example, the protests, you have a reporter talking to the audience, but yet in the background, the buildings are burning, the police cars are overturned. I got tired of that, so I posted something that tells us, hey, the world's falling upside down in protest. In turn, the community at the college saw that as something offensive for the LGBT community. I'm not too sure where the connection is at all, because I didn't write any comments against that community. So that turned out to be very interesting, because thereafter they pushed for censure. It was a very contentious meeting. I got censured nonetheless. My employer found out what was going on, and I got fired.
Joseph, what was your opinion about this situation?
My opinion about this is that this is a manufactured issue because the Democratic hierarchy in Alameda County is terrified of having a Hispanic man run against Eric Swalwell, and they will do everything they can to ruin this fine man because they know that Swalwell is vulnerable against the right candidate, and Luis is that candidate. He's a Christian conservative, he's an educator, he knows the issues with youth and some of all the terrible things that are happening in our schools. He sees that every day, and plus he has a doctorate in economics, and so he can understand the kind of things that a congressman has to deal with in Washington. So he's a perfect candidate, and they don't want that.
So that means you're just going to try even harder.
Absolutely. I'm used to the fights. Like I said, I've won 5 elections, so I got another one coming up. We'll see what happens.
We are with Johnny Morgan, the now past president of the California Republican Assembly. How are you feeling this morning?
Oh, I'm feeling wonderful.
So the news cycle is pretty crazy right now. It's hard to keep track of everything. What is the one thing that really stands out to you, that really pops out, that really bothers you?
Well, the challenge is that we need more Republicans to be active, to be more involved, and to participate, and to come out and vote. And so the challenge for us is going to be how to motivate them and encourage them and inspire them to come out and participate so that we can get good government back in California.
Jim, tell me, what is your big issue here in California that sticks out like a sore thumb?
Saving our children. I mean, the state's trying to take them away from our parents. They're trying to dictate what they're going to do with them. They're going to try to manipulate them. And this is something we need to fight against, stand up for our families and our God-given rights that this nation has given us. Because right now, our children are the future. But so the other side sees too, that if they can manipulate those children and they can indoctrinate those children, they'll have robots that'll do their bidding. And we need to stand up against that. So I'm really looking at that to work towards defending our liberties.
Can you give any advice to parents out there on how they can take charge with this issue?
I'd say parents, get your children out of public school, homeschool them, get in with some groups that are working together. You gotta put your children first, get them out of the government schools, because that's the only salvation they have. And raise them yourselves, and they need to learn to remember to love this nation that has blessed them and their families so well, and what our forefathers did for us, because that's our future.